The life of a street cop has never been easy, but these days in the city of San Diego, it has never been tougher. Almost all forms of crime are on the rise, and the number of officers on the streets has been shrinking. As a result, fewer cops are working longer hours, and the police overtime budget is skyrocketing.
I look at my record from this morning. I'm 206 officers short of budgeted strength. If I go back to my 5-year plan, it's actually 296. I'm actually supposed to be budgeted at 2126 now. And so you're looking at a large city, you're seeing more complex crime. We're still seeing, a rise in violent crime.
Here in San Diego, the overtime budget for police is already $40 million for this year. But with so few officers and so much crime, the chief is warning that overtime may reach almost $50 million for this year alone, yet response times are still lagging.
The impact out here in the real world is staffing goes down, crime has gone up, and response times have gone up. Right now in the city of San Diego, it takes over 35 minutes to get to a high priority call. Calls like domestic violence, child abuse.
It's no secret that hundreds of officers have left San Diego for a variety of reasons. Among them, better pay, better benefits, and less petty politics. Between the coronavirus mandates and the anti-police sentiment at City Hall, cops are jumping ship.
Right now, we have a proposal called the Protect Act in the city, which is a radical anti-police legislation that's been hanging over officers' heads. And it's unheard of in the rest of the county and the rest of the state to enact some type of anti-law enforcement legislation. We're still facing that dilemma right now, and it's scaring officers from being an officer here, scaring people away from being a new recruit, it's scaring people to other jurisdictions.
Things are so sketchy at SDPD these days, highly trained officers are filling in as dispatchers and other duties. There's not only a shortage of officers, but civilian positions as well. As a result, those officers are doing whatever it takes to get the job done, and not a lot of hope in the near future.
This last academy graduated last week on Friday. There was 30 recruits in there that graduated. We're budgeted for 50. We cannot fill our academies right now. We need to see support from the mayor and the council's office. We need to see support from the community, and we do see a lot of that still. It has increased in the last 2 years, but right now we need to get our academies filled, and we need to do everything we can to retain the officers that we have on the streets.
During the police chief's presentation to the city council, none of the politicians questioned the need for overtime money or more police. After all, it is their pro-criminal policies that created this shortfall and the dangerous conditions out on the street.
We look at the amount of fentanyl deaths and methamphetamine deaths in this county. It's over 1,100 for last year. It's skyrocketing every year. Our narcotics street teams unit has never been smaller. And people are dying because of the lack of enforcement.
You know, the city of San Diego isn't the only major city in America that is losing cops in large numbers. Places like Portland and Washington, D.C., they're jumping ship in record numbers there, and for the same reasons as San Diego. Far left-leaning politicians and anti-police policies. Until the politicians and the policies change, those cops will continue to look elsewhere. After all, public safety is supposed to be the #1 duty for local government. We're in Harbor Island. Dan Plant, KUSI News.